This is one of the most expensive MPVs that a Chinese car brand has ever made, and I'm gonna break it down for you today. I'm Jack, this is where to go. Li Auto Mega. So, I'd like to start with the whole drivability. This is a huge car. I'm 5'9", I'm sitting pretty uptight, and there's still more than one fist away to the ceiling. With 544 horsepower, this car is more than easy to drive. But you may also find it hard to tell how close it is from this to the surroundings, especially when you're getting behind the wheel for the first time. And I don't like that I cannot see the hood. So I figure out a way. I kind of figure out a way to build a boundary in my head, the stop line. I slowly approached, and just when the side mirror went past the line, I would know exactly where the front end is. Brilliant me. This car is air suspension with adjustable height and stiffness, and it can go extra lower when it hit 100 kilometers per hour. Even so, this whole suspension system kind of fails me a little. It doesn't feel decisive or sturdy, and it rattles and shakes a little through bumps and potholes. And you can definitely feel a lot of weight transferred to the outside in the curve. I know this is just a family or people carrier, not some ultimate driving machine, and I know how things could get hard when the weight is up to 2.8 tons. For instance, like the springs, the basic supporting components. When it goes soft, it offers better comfort through bumps, but the whole things could get really wobbly. And when it goes hard, it offers better support and stability, especially in high speed, but it compromises the whole riding quality. So it's kind of a dilemma. And the heavier the car, the smaller the margin. So I understand how tricky it is for the car makers to find a balance between. So for the same reason, the square set of 245 tires kind of falls short. I've been avoiding puddles these days since I ran over one on the first night and slipped. So make sure to drive safely. The brake is good though. Smooth, I'll give you that. And it doesn't take much effort to have a wobble-free full stop. And I highly recommend the full gen mode. I don't like that on most of the electric vehicles, but this one is epic. It's so natural that I checked a few times to see if it's still on before I realized that it's actually decelerating. So good. Another thing I'd like to say is the sound insulation, especially on the highway. Just imagine that you're putting your head underwater. That's how it basically feels. I think it really gives a lot of credits to the whole sound quality of the stereo. It's really good. Now this is a huge car with a huge cabin. I don't have to compare or fight over that 1 or 2 inches around my knees or my heads. This is just made and born to carry people. A roof with mild slope, which brought up tremendous controversy, as some may say coffin-shaped or a sign of ill fortune. Well, I beg to differ. At least it shows a seamless and holy fit. It's just that everyone can have their opinion about basically everything, especially when it comes to aesthetic. So the cabin features your access to most functions in this car is basically in this big infotainment display. Well, actually, this layout is not that different from the competitors, but the icons are just direct and very easy to read. Yet, I prefer the voice control since it's already smart and responsive enough. So here are the vents. I'm glad they're real and nicely made plastic because my sweaty hands, I have to move it around to make sure that my hands are cold and not getting ice burned. And of course, I like to do that without looking. So the chair, I think it's kind of essential to the whole experience. And this car is fully equipped. Ventilation on all 6 seats and massage and heating on front 4. You can tweak that in the screen or just page Jarvis to do that. 把天窗关了。Other than that, these are two 50 watts phone charge and they're wireless. And here is a 220 volts outlet. You can put your laptop here and you're good to go. And what's more, here is a physical doorknob to the door. Yeah, I think I like this one very much. And there's one function that you would never imagine. There are 2 cameras, both in the front and the second row. See here. Ta-da! If you get bored, there are 2 screens, both in the front and second row, that you can watch some streaming media. I'm not a TV man, but with these things around you, it's just too hard not to stick around for some time. 打开后排屏幕。So now it's on, and watch this. Woo! See that? This is gesture control. Okay, when I hold, and I grab it, throw it away. Now, watch there. Isn't that magic? Delighted as I might see, some things must be brought up to the table. Like, the car maker doesn't have a clue that how hard it is for guests like me, especially when I'm old, to reach out to those irresponsive AC panel, the precious car fridge, or the doorknob. Is it that complex to just put them all on the armrest? Now we come to the third row, which I think a lot of buyers would really appreciate. This is a pretty spacious back room, and all the functions are here. It's not compromised. Like here, we have ventilation, as I said before, and you can just tweak the angle of the backrest. We go down. This is a pretty comfortable seat, and we go up. And here's a basic USB port and a speaker here and 2 cup holders. I think we have everything we need here, especially when you're carrying a baby or some kids. This is more than adequate and decent. So Mega is the first ever pure electric cars from Li Auto, where they have put in great investment both spiritually and financially. Apparently this doesn't work out pretty well for them, with just a few thousand units sold in half a year. I think this is a car that has something to offer. The question is, can they sell it in time?